Welcome back to Majestic Mondays. This is one of those weeks that ask for honesty, not performance. The year is almost over, y'all, and there's a natural exhale happening, whether we notice it or not. Today isn't about summarizing your year, it's about laying it down gently, without rushing, without judging, without dragging it forward. Some seasons don't need closure, they need permission to rest. A moment from my year that feels very heavy. I want to say that I am done carrying the pain from my past, the trauma that I've went through. I I don't want to carry it anymore. I don't want to carry it in my body. I don't want to carry it in my mind. I don't want to carry it in my heart. And when I release and let this baggage go, it will allow me to step into my truest power. And being that I have been away from home for 3 years now has really allowed me to face all of that, right? Face my fears, acknowledge my patterns or behaviors that just weren't benefiting me anymore. So much of what we carry isn't obvious sometimes. Sometimes it lives in your shoulders, in your breath, in the way you brace before speaking, even in the way you expect things to go wrong before they actually do, or if they do. This year may have asked you to be strong longer than you expected, and strength, when held too long, it turns into tension. Release begins when you notice what you've been bracing against. Where have I been holding my breath this year? I want you to ask yourself that. I want you to sit there and really think about, where have you held your breath? And I want you to remember that not everything needs to be understood to be released. Some things didn't make sense because they weren't meant to, and that's okay, because they were meant to change you, not convince you. Closure doesn't always come from answers as well. It comes from deciding you don't need them anymore, right? There's a few things that I stopped trying to figure out this year. And one thing I've stopped trying to figure out is, what is wrong with me, right? There's nothing wrong with me, but I always have this thing where I'm trying to figure out what keeps me from doing X, Y, and Z, or what keeps me in this place of pain and suffering. And when I stopped trying to control every outcome to make me feel better, it really changed my energy. It has really allowed me to feel lighter and be more ambitious and open up more, not even just in my personal life, but like in my work, like being able to be honest with my coworkers, with my career. I've never allowed my vulnerability to seep through, especially with managers. I've never actually allowed that. And it's new for me, and it's allowed me to be authentic in all aspects of my life. You can be grateful and grieving at the same time. And that's one thing that I've really realized this year as well. You can honor what was beautiful and acknowledge what hurts. You don't have to rewrite your story to release it either. This is essentially where maturity lives. And it lives in letting conflicting emotions sit at the same table without forcing one to leave, right? um, I was grieving a lot of like behavioral patterns and beliefs and thought processes, and also just being able to honor this learning curve. It is beautiful because you get to see your growth. You get to see where things used to affect you and now they don't, right? So I just want you to remember that two things can exist at the same time. There is beauty in the pain, and I want y'all to walk away with that, to remember that as much as it hurts or as much as it is uncomfortable, trust the process, right? I'm going to give you a few affirmations, and I kind of want you to just sit with them and embody them and see where you agree or where you may have challenges accepting it. Both can exist at the same time, right? So close your eyes and repeat after me. I allow complexity without self-judgment. I don't rush my emotional process. I honor what shaped me. I release what no longer needs my energy. Forgiveness is not approval, it's regulation. It's teaching your body that the threat has passed, that you don't need to relive it to stay safe. You forgive when you're ready to stop carrying the moment in your muscles, your sleep, and your thoughts. One thing that I'm forgiving are those who have inflicted and caused me pain, whether it was through their own actions, whether it was something that impacted me. I'm choosing to forgive, but not to forget. I choose this because it'll allow me to soften my heart. It'll allow me to open up and be vulnerable to those who are coming into my life and to accept love in many shapes and forms. So I choose to forgive. Imagine placing this year down in front of you, not throwing it away, not sealing it tight, just resting it. Remember everything it taught you. Remember everything it took from you. You don't need to bring proof of pain into the next chapter. Let this moment be enough. As the year closes, I want you to remember you don't step into the future by holding tighter. You step into it by trusting what you no longer need. Okay? Happy Majestic Mondays. I'll see you next week for our final episode of the year. Until then, I wish you all a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you find time to celebrate you in the next few days with your family, with your loved ones. Be grateful, be joyful, and show up. I'll see y'all next week.